The moment delegates have been waiting for. Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir and the Justice and Emancipation Movement, Darfur's largest rebel group, committing themselves on Tuesday to peace in Darfur, one of Sudan's most war-ravaged regions. Mortal enemies now turned partners.
All the people in Darfur from all walks of life, whether in the government or outside, liberation movement or otherwise, have all come to the conclusion that peace is a necessity as people have suffered enough from this war.
In the name of JEM and in the name of our steadfast and patient people, I welcome the opening of dialogue in Doha and the beginning of a peace deal. We confirm our full cooperation in the efforts for peace building.
It's taken months of backroom negotiations, the backing of the UN, the African Union and regional powers to finally deliver this. Qatar, the main sponsor of the talks, is investing political and financial capital to make this deal stick. It's committed $1 billion to develop Darfur.
It is difficult for me to say that there are any guarantees, but I know that in these kinds of situations there are countries that will come forward with financial support. As for Qatar, we have previously committed funds after the Lebanon war to help rebuild the country's infrastructure and met all the promises.
And although the deal is only between JEM and the Sudanese government, leaders of 10 smaller Darfuri rebel groups made a declaration of their own. Also on Tuesday, they announced that this is the time to join forces and set aside differences that have deeply divided them in the past. For the first time, they have come together under a new umbrella group, the Justice and Liberation Movement. Agreeing on a united front is their way, they believe, of making sure they have a strong place at the negotiating table. This is the man they want to negotiate with, Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir. He says he wants a final ceasefire with JEM to be clenched by the middle of March. But whether this turns out to be the beginning of a new era will depend on the details of how the Sudanese government and JEM will work through key and deeply divisive issues. At stake, the fate of millions of refugees who fled from their homes during 7 years of fighting, the development of Darfur, one of Sudan's most neglected regions, and how political power and wealth will be shared between Darfur and Khartoum, thorny issues that have defeated many attempts in the past to make peace between the government and Darfur's rebel groups. Qatar's $1 billion pledge and an upcoming donor conference that will be sponsored by Egypt and Turkey show the seriousness of the commitment of regional countries to help make the ceasefire stick. But ultimately, it will come down to the Sudanese government and to JEM to work out the finer details. Zaina Awad, Al Jazeera, Doha.